Hi everyone, I'm Tally, this is Farrell, and this is Mr. Spen, and we're Bored of It. And today we're going to be looking at Bored of It's top 10 most played games as of November 2025.
Exactly. And the reason Sven's here is because every time we sit up here, he jumps in my chair and won't get out.
He's obsessed with sitting in the chair like a person.
Yeah, he loves it. He curls up in it like a little donut. Anyway, we're going to cover, as you said, our top 10 most played games. And we're going to talk about basically, because a lot of the times the list is more or less the same. And we're going to talk about how many times we've played them since last year when we did this list, basically. So you can get some perspective of what we're playing, what we're not. And also just remember that, first of all, this list is only since we started the channel.
Yeah.
And the second part is that obviously smaller games, lighter games, family games get played a lot more. So
Because we count per game rather than like session, let's say.
exactly.
Right?
So
Yeah.
you're not going to see your Voidfall on
Your
here.
Twilight Imperium, let's
John
say.
Company. So let's begin with number 10.
Okay, so I need a digital assistant. I'm not as good as you at remembering ranking lists. So in at number 10, we have Cascadia.
Yep.
And we have played that a total of 33 times. And we've played it 7 times since we did the video last year, which I'm pretty surprised at, actually, I have to say.
That's quite a boost.
Yeah.
So Cascadia is one of my all-time favorites. I think it's always on my top 20 games of all time. I find it the perfect tile laying game. I think I really like the low complexity versus the intense decision space, where kind of trying to fit your tiles and your kind of animal tokens together in the optimal way. I just find it a really engaging puzzle.
Yeah.
So I'm always up for playing it. And I think in part we played it for my comfort, if that makes sense. Then in another part, because we tried the expansion finally.
Yeah,
so I think we got a fair few games out of getting the expansion.
Yeah, exactly. No, agree. I would never turn down a game of Cascadia, like ever. You're right. It is just relaxing. I think something you've said about it before is it's the perfect game where it's, low barrier, but there's enough to keep heavier gamers like us interested in it. So you can introduce it to new people and it goes down really well with them. But at the same time, it's something we're not just pandering to people like beginners, let's say, when we get it out. We actually really enjoy the kind of crunch and decision with it as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's very aesthetic and just satisfying.
Yeah. Really great game. Glad it got more plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to number 9. Number 9 is Caper Europe, a classic on this channel.
Exactly.
Although we have also 33 total plays of that one, but we have 0 plays since last year. And I actually can't remember the last time we did play this game.
I think it's actually like 2 years or something. It's been a really long time.
Yeah, and long-term viewers of the channel will maybe remember that when this game first came out, we were obsessed.
Yeah, I think almost all those plays came in like the first year, basically.
Exactly, yeah. I remember that. I think we played it like 25 times in the first 6 months of having it, maybe even less. To be fair, it's a 2-player kind of head-to-head game about... how do you say, not thieving? What's the more fun, like...
Capering.
Well, yeah, it's in the title.
Capering.
Exactly. Yes, and it is the type of game that you get out and then you want to have another crack at, to be fair. So some of those games we have played, 2 to 3 times in a single session, so that also boosts it up. But yeah, like I said, when this first came out, we got completely obsessed and I think I maybe put it on my number 1 game of the year one year.
Easily.
At least it was very, very high, just very enamored with it. And it is sad to have not played it in such a long time. And there's no real reason for that. It's not like we've like gone off the game, at least I haven't. It's just other things have taken precedent.
Yeah, we need to get back to it. I mean, it's a really great game. I love it as much as you. It's a channel favorite. It's just one of those things that just gets pushed to the back because we're always playing something new.
Yeah.
And I think maybe because it's 2-player, and I think we have played a lot of like 2-player only games over the last, like, let's say 2 years, like kind of new ones coming in all the time. It gets harder to go back to old two-player head-to-head games, which I think we'll see later on this list as well. Yeah?
Yeah.
So
next
number
one.
8?
Number 8, that is... Okay. This is like fun to me to see as well. Number 8 is No Thanks. We've played that a total of 35 times, but again, 0 play since last year. I'm a little bit upset at that one because I did actually take it on holiday with me when I were with my friends, and I was hoping to play it like with the girls, but we didn't get around to it essentially. So might have got 1 or 2 more games up there. But does this count the jerry-rigged game that we made?
Yes.
Okay.
It does. Where we made it with cards and like
trains
beans
from
or something.
Irish Gauge or something like that in the beginning. Yeah, we just made our own little version. Okay, so that does include that, but we have the official No Thanks version as well. Yeah.
So this is a little fun kind of party game, and it was one that I think shot straight up into our top most played because my family became really enamored with it, and I think we played a lot with our jerry-rigged version. They really got into it. And then it's kind of continued since. I think maybe the last time we played it was actually kind of during our wedding trip last year, because we brought it there and we played it, I think, an amount of times. I'm just not sure if it's been out since.
No, I don't think so. I would really like to get it out. It's such a fun, like, pub game.
I think we have too many good, like, small little party games now.
Yeah, we actually do have 2 full drawers, essentially, of
like
these
party
like small
games,
box games that can, be taken out and travel around. So, but let's make an effort to play it maybe at Christmas.
Exactly. Yep.
Cool. All right, so number 7 is Wingspan. That also has 35 plays, and we also have not played that one at all this year.
To be fair, I think with that one, we did play it quite a lot last year.
Yeah.
And it went up a bunch. But this year has been, again, the year of Wormspan.
This is, exactly.
Because I think you've asked to get it out at some point across the year, and then we also just got the new expansion. So we've been playing a lot of Wormspan and Finspan, I think, this year.
Yeah.
But we just haven't played Wingspan because the other 2 have been the ones we've played.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like maybe in the beginning we had some friends that were requesting to play it when they would come over, and they've since moved away. So no one's pushing us, I think, to get it out.
Yeah.
But again, I think this is a classic in the household. Like we talked about before, we probably think Wormspan is our favourite of the trilogy at Finspan, Wingspan and Wormspan, just because it's that little bit more crunchy. But again, I would never turn down a game of Wingspan personally. It's very relaxing to me.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think I would. I think I really like Wingspan. That's why it's the most played. It's just not something I'd probably pick that often.
No. What I was thinking about is the fan art.
Yes, that's why part of why we played it so much last year.
I was thinking because I saw something about it recently on Instagram, and it triggered me thinking I really want to get it out again because I'm not sure that we got through all of those fan art cards, and they were a highlight. Yeah, and they're so good.
So it's like a mini expansion pack that the art's drawn by fans, and it ranges from like children up to like professional artists, good. And it's brilliant. There's some really brilliant stuff on there.
We need to make an effort to, again, get that one out as well, just because I want to see more of those cards.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Next one we have, so this is number 6, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So number 6, that is Vagrant Song. I'm getting like, that is 39 plays. 39 is actually like giving me a little bit of anxiety thinking about it.
So this is one that's jumped like from like 11 last year to...
Well, we've played 28 times
Yeah.
Vagrant Song since the video last year.
Yeah, 28 times since the video last year. So the reason for this is we had Vagrant Song for years, and we kind of started like one campaign, then I think we restarted it.
Yeah.
Then basically got the expansions from the last Kickstarter, and basically just decided to commit to playing it through. So I think now, as I'm sure a lot of people do, we have a lot of campaign games floating around. I think almost none of which would finished, except for one that we'll see later on this list, spoilers. And we kind of tried to commit to completing them. And we talked about this in a previous video with the game Fractal and the campaign for that game. And then in that one, we gave up because we were just like, we're not having fun.
Yeah.
But we gave it a good go to like try and experience it. And I was kind of proud of doing that. So we continued that to Vagrant Song. And we made it almost to the end. And there was like ups and downs. I think
It was too much for me in the end.
Yeah.
Because we kept
You snapped in the end.
I snapped. It was too much Vagrant Song. I feel like brought it on ourselves a little bit because we do like to have an accompanying playlist where we can to games like that, especially when they're quite thematic.
Yeah.
If I had one more banjo, I was going to scream. Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. You would be like, come on, let's play something. And then you would take the leaves off we have the Geek and Son table. So it was always being stored underneath, ready to go.
It was under there for like 2 months straight, yeah.
Not more Vagrant Song, not more banjos, please.
No, I think the thing is that there was some real up and downs. And what it comes down to with Vagrant Song is that the core part is a lot of the criticism you hear where there's all these scenarios and kind of every scenario is almost like a new game because there's a boss battler and the bosses behave in different ways. And so you're learning an entirely new rule set every time. And then within that scenario, there's often like mysteries, like you have to figure stuff out. And it kind of sometimes doesn't fit with like all the new rules overload versus the core rules versus not understanding what you have to do. And it can become a lot of like mental load and confusing. Yeah. And there's not a lot of definitions. Like, the biggest complaint is always that it was kind of like put out and then in some ways dropped. Like there's a very basic FAQ and that's kind of all that was ever put out for it, despite all these questions. So that's one big problem with it. And then I think the second is it just stopped being fun. Like we got to the last two missions actually, and then we're just looking at them and we're just like, I don't know what about this is supposed to be fun. Like the penultimate one was you kind of had to do this weird thing where depending on which way the boss made you move certain tokens around to make like a certain shape. And only then could you actually play the game and beat them up. And it was just like, if you didn't manage to do it quick enough, and obviously it's like, there's a lot of time pressure and it could be a bit of luck and like what happens.
Yeah.
You have to start it all again. And it was just, we just kind of looked at it and we did it for 45 minutes. And then we just went, nothing about this is fun.
It got, for me at least, super, even though like you said, the rules change every time to fight a different boss, at the core of it got very samey for me.
I get that.
Because sometimes, particularly in that last scenario, I felt like I couldn't do anything. It's like, okay, I'll just move for the sake of it. I'll just get rummage tokens, which are like little...
Yeah, it was though, but that's the thing. There was like nothing to do.
There's nothing to do, yeah. And then I was overexposed to it for like the last however long we had it, set up as well. Just like...
But that is the point. There was nothing to do, literally. So it was like incredibly boring as you tried to like get these tokens into place.
Yeah. But it's maybe a bit of a shame. Like I think you were more hot on it than me because I think, it's just those type of cooperative ones where you're like, I found I was very reliant on you to like, what shall I do? What's the best thing to do here? There's not so much agency. It's not my favorite type of game. But I know you really like the theme and stuff. In the beginning. It's just the end of it was a bit of a shame.
The other problem that was kind of with the whole thing for me was it's weird because I've seen both sides like almost equally online, but I found it I think we found it too difficult in some ways. Like we didn't fail a lot necessarily like the scenario, but we're taking a lot of damage and like ending, and then all you do is spend your money to kind of heal yourself in the in-between bit. And because there is a lot of luck in it, you can get in these situations where it's like, we're completely fine and we're going to beat this boss if he just doesn't draw this one token, and then he'll draw that one token, and like then you kind of have to spend another like 5 rounds getting back to where you were. Yeah. Like that type of thing can happen. And what I found really bizarre is because we got the expansions, and one of them is just like more stuff, which was fine. but a lot of elements of the other one and some of that, the kind of story one, was that it made the game more difficult and like more fiddly and more complex. I just really didn't understand who is wanting that. Do you know what I mean? So then that was also a bit of a sad note.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on. So that's our review of Vagrant Song. So let's move on to the next one and why you'll never see us play it again.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so number 5. Yes.
Yep.
That is So Clover on a lighter note. We have played that 42 times in total, with only 5 total plays since last year, which I am a bit surprised about, I have to say. I feel like that's one that we get out quite frequently.
Do you know what it is? So Clover is like a little word game. It's cooperative. You're working together to kind of, guess clues given by a player. And what it is that this time, roughly last year, I introduced you to Just One. And I think that's eclipsed it because we only played So Clover once at Christmas. And then just now, the other times when your mum was here, I think every other time, Just One has just blown it out of the way.
Yeah. I don't think that's for any particular reason,
newness.
just novelty. Yeah, exactly. So I would expect plays of So Clover to steadily go up over the years, basically.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if it's one that we completely abandoned.
Well, it was one that also jumped up very, very quickly. I think it went into within 1 to 2 years, it went straight up.
Yeah. Again, the sort of game that you get out, you probably play it 3, if not 4 times. In a
exactly. Well, 100%, because everyone, it's a crowd pleaser. Everyone loves it. We usually play with our families. So it's a little bit more dependent on when we see them and like when they're here.
Yeah. It's a good one though. If you're if you want something, goes up to quite a lot of players, right? 8?
No, that's So Clover might only be 6, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you need the plastic clovers.
Yeah, true. I'm thinking of something else, but it's a really good one for like holiday season, basically. I think what we like about it is like cooperative, but for us there's still that edge of they're being a bit competitive with like giving the best clues.
Why won't you get my clues, darlings?
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
So it's not too like nicey nice, which we don't like. Exactly. All right. So moving on to number 4, going a little bit heavier now. That is Root. We've played that 42 times in total with 2 plays since the last video. Yeah.
So Root is the woodland war game. We've spoken about it a lot. It's always been in our top 10 most played because it's one of our favorite games. I can't remember. I think we've managed to keep up a couple of plays every year now for a few years. So it's always gone up because it is a favorite. I think it's one that, for some reason, it's like been a little bit hard for us to get to the table more than that, even though we'd like to.
Yeah.
But I think that will change before the next video because the new expansion's coming out. So then you'll see definitely a bunch of plays next year.
Frogs.
But I think the thing about Root is that even though it's a heavy game, because of all the factions and we have all the content, there's so much variability. And by the time if you played every faction in a row, by the time you get back to the first, you've forgotten how they play again.
Definitely.
So it's like new all over again.
Exactly. I think we did get a group together who had played it before, which is also always much easier with Root because there is a bit of a high learning barrier, essentially. So I think last year we'd managed to jump it up a little bit more than this year. But yeah, we sort of lost the group again now. So mostly play 2-player.
Yep.
Okay, next one. That is number 3 now. So that's My City. We have played that 48 times with 0 plays since the last video, but there's a good reason for that.
Yeah, so My City is the kind of, like legacy game, tile laying, Reina Knizia legacy game that was popular a couple of years ago. And basically, because we played it 2-player, you have like 24 games and each game's only like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of a kind of easy goal, so to speak.
Yeah.
But if you play 2-player, you can basically just do the campaign again with the components.
Yep.
So we did that, which is why we have 48 plays. So we've played the campaign twice, just a nice little 10, 15 minute per game type thing.
Yeah.
And we really enjoyed it, but there's not too much to say. It's just a really chill tile laying polyomino game.
Exactly. No, I'm a big fan of that. And then the sequel was My Island, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was also super fun. Did we play that a second time?
No.
Okay, so we have that to look forward to
Yeah,
as well.
I think it's down in the basement.
Well, is that 24 games as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so at some point there'll be 48 games of
Yeah, maybe.
All
Yep.
right. So we're on the penultimate one now, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So in at number 2, we have Undaunted.
Yeah.
That is 53 plays, also with 0 plays since last time. And here we're including the entire Undaunted
Yeah.
series, right?
Yeah,
maybe
so
a
this
little bit
is
of a- little
5
bit of a cheat.
games, basically. Battle of Britain, Normandy, North Africa, Stalingrad, and 2200.
Yeah.
So, I mean, each of them, has about like 10 plays or maybe a little bit less each, maybe more. And we've always said it's one of our favorite series. I think it's one of our favorite games. Again, taking it as a series, this 2-player head-to-head kind of tactical combat with
Hand management, like
hand
card
management,
deck-
like deck building is a
Yeah.
core. Just because it has such great tension, it's very quick, it's very easy to play, light on the rules, high on the tension, with a bit of kind of dice rolling, so a bit of luck.
Yeah.
But you can mitigate that, which is nice. And it's just been one of our favorite series, and I think the reason we haven't played it is same reason we said earlier, where we keep having more 2-player games come in. And the other thing is there hasn't been a main entry in the series. There's been some kind of tangential releases, but they haven't done a main game this year.
Yeah.
I think so we haven't had a new one to play.
Yeah, exactly. I do miss it actually though. We should get it out.
Yeah, I'd like to
again.
get out.
Yeah. I think we said that we would like to play Stalingrad, which is the campaign version again.
Yeah, I'd love to.
That was probably one of the games, maybe alongside Cape of Europe, that we played the most in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
We got totally obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Super
we played
addictive.
15 games in less than a week.
Yes, so would recommend that.
Really good.
Yeah.
So then the number
Moving
one,
on to
which
number
is the
one.
same as every year.
Shocker, I don't actually need to consult the list for this one to know the title. But the number 1 most played game in the Board of It universe is Codenames.
Yeah.
Shock, shock. It's that every year. We have played this 58 times since the channel began. More on top of that before we began keeping records. We've played it a total of 3 times since the last time, which I'm a little bit surprised about.
Yeah.
I don't remember playing it in the last
It's
year.
probably at Christmas, I think.
Yeah, okay, so shortly after filming the last video.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Codenames, the reason it's so high and has been so high forever, even though we haven't played it so much the last few years, is just because it was like that one game that was a revolution with mainly my family. They came round and we just played it non-stop
Obsessively.
for like an entire 4-day weekend. It just blew their minds. They bought it, obviously. And I think the last few years, it's just been pushed to the side by So Clover and now Just One. Also, I think we used to play it a lot with our friends back in the day as well.
Yeah.
And now those friend groups have kind of melded away.
Dissipated.
So.
Yeah, I was just thinking that mostly with family, but it's definitely something that we've played with big groups of friends when we used to have a lot of people over. But again, the perils of living abroad and having international friends is they all eventually move away.
Yeah.
So I think we've just again lost the group, let's say, that we would have played this with.
I think it is arguably the ultimate word game, the most popular word game, the most well known. So I think that in one sense it's fair that it's at the top of the list, the most played. But
You know what though? I have actually played it, not on the records because it wasn't with you, but I was at a work event and they had it in the hotel lobby.
You should have.
where
Oh
we
no,
are.
you should have still added it. You've tanked it.
Okay, so there's one more play on
Yeah.
that. It's still number 1. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was like a massive group game, so it didn't work too well. There was almost too many people in a hotel
okay.
lobby, so it was
Yeah.
not great. Also, it was in Danish, so a lot of our colleagues had to translate for us. So I don't know if I would call that a great success and add it to the list, but there was an attempt.
Fair enough. So that is our top 10 most played games. And we will essentially be back at the start of the year to look at our top 10 most played games of this calendar year.
Yeah.
I think it will be actually a really interesting list because, as I think I said maybe at the start of the video, we this year, usually our most played games will be between like 8 to 12 and maybe one or two is like 15, 16, just because we're always playing something new. But this year we have so many games that are like 16 to 20 something already because they've just been massive hits. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what game
I'm
takes the
intrigued
crown.
because you're the record keeper. I don't tend to
Yeah.
look at the records. So again, it will be very intriguing and interesting to me to also learn about it.
Exactly. So we hope you enjoyed watching and learning about our stats. We'll be back with more stats videos soon. We love doing them.
Yeah.
And please subscribe if you enjoyed it, found it helpful. But most importantly, we hope to see you next time. Bye.
Bye.